In this session, we will talk about the employee retention and especially those employees to whom the organization wants to retain. Because if the talented employees are there, their contribution makes a lot of difference into the organization. We have seen the number of case studies in which the talented employees, they are supposed to be retained so that any problem or situation come across, then that can be solved by these talented employees. So, what are the different practices and what we will study in this employee retention. So, employee retention, that is the concept, that what exactly the employee retention means, growth opportunities for the employees, attractive packages, personal training, recreation, the grievances, why retain employees, employee retention or motivation strategies, and the retention is myth. So, these will be the contents which we will be discussing. So, in employee retention, it is the process in which the employees are encouraged to remain with the organization for the maximum period of time or until the completion of the project is there. Now, it is interesting, right. So, that is the maximum period of time, this is to be noted. So, every organization wants to retain, especially in the PSUs, in Indian context if we talk about the PSU and public sector. So, in general we will find that is in the PSU the employees turnover means the joining and the leaving ratio of the employees, that is very low. So, because once they join, they are continuing with that organization and they feel that it is a job security is there, and that is why they join this type of the organizations, PSUs organizations. Or there are many private organizations also where the work culture is they do not retrench the employees, right. Even the employees are surplus, they will identify certain new projects and try to accommodate those employees, but they will never say employees to go. That is a one aspect. The second aspect is that is those who are talented employees, right. So, and when they join the private organization in general, because the talented employees who join the organization in PSU, there will be very few employees, very less percentage who will leave the PSUs, right. As I already mentioned, that is employees turnover in PSU is very less. But in comparison to the private organizations, we will find that is the organizations for the retaining the talent people, and interestingly the very right word has been used here, that is a maximum period of time. When you will say that is this is the time of employee to go, right. So, because for the talented employees the time period to work in one company itself is very short. Tendency, especially in the beginning of the career, tendency is to go for the fast growth, that I will be discussing also in the further studies, that is the how we are talking about the growth opportunities for the talented employees. If the talented employees do not see any growth opportunity, then they will not be happy, and if they are not happy, they will try to search the job in the another organization which will give them more freedom, flexibility, status, recognition, pay, compensation and all. So, this is a matter of perception, that is what is the maximum period of time. So, in average you will find that is the talented employees in the beginning of the career are living for the 18 months, 24 months, maximum 36 months, right. That is from the 1 year to 3 year is in average you will find that is the maximum period of the talented employees in the beginning of the career to work in an organization. So, organization has to make an efforts to encourage them, encourage to remain with the organization. So, they have to make the efforts. What type of efforts are to mention? There are different dimensions are there in employee retention, and in employee retention the first and foremost dimension is the job satisfaction. If the employees are having the job satisfaction, then they will continue with the organizations. Especially in the young generation, I have seen like in our MBA students also, I find that it is not necessary that they will appear into the first organization which is coming for the campus placement. and when we ask them that is the why you are selected for interview, but you are not appearing for interview, they say no sir, that is the job profile in the PPT whatever they have mentioned, that is the not suitable for me. I want to work in a specific job profile. So, therefore, job satisfaction becomes the first priority for the talented employees. If they are happy with the job, then their compensation package, rewards, they are secondary for them, because they know they will earn that much money. So, earning the money is not the criteria for them, right. Criteria is the whether the job is having that satisfaction or not. So, this is becoming the employee retention is there. So, first it is a process, second is efforts are to be made by the organization for the retention, third is that is the maximum period which is to be considered, that has to be taken care by the organization or until the completion of the project. This is another problem. When you start a project, you hire the employees are talented, and then in between your project is not completed. Normally project is minimum for 3 years and then more. So, therefore, in that case the project is not completed, and a key personnel of the project, if he leaves, then the project is getting affected. So, therefore, in that case till the completion of the project, that it is a responsibility of the employer to retain the employees. Now, what are the dimensions or factors for these employee retentions are there? So, first and foremost I will like to take that is the growth opportunities. Every organization provides the growth opportunities through the HR manual, like in the first year, second year or third year they will go for that particular opportunity, or they may go for this particular aspect, that is their career path, career management, or there might be the certain examinations like the Tata Administrative Services are there. So, therefore, internal employees they are getting an opportunity to jump in the career, and this type of the growth opportunities are sometimes it is a skill development. It is not the attractive package, which is the second point. So, it is not the attractive package, rather than it is the skill development which is becoming the more important. If the skill development is becoming more important, then in that case it is very interesting, that is the what type of the training and skills are required. For example, we will further discuss in this course also about the talent analysis, how to do the analysis of the talent, and then on the basis of their performance and packages you have to decide that is the whether you are going to get that particular aspect of their growth opportunities or not. So, performance appraisal to the potential appraisal, that potential appraisal that is becoming the criteria in the case of the organizations. So, if the potential appraisal is there, then potential appraisal will create the more growth opportunities. So, growth opportunities may be in the terms of the job enrichment, job enrichment, that is the adding the value to the job, or maybe the job profile is changed, right, or the key positions and responsibilities are given. So, that will be the growth opportunities. Second one is the attractive package. So, nowadays the concept is of the variable pay, fixed pay plus variable pay. It is not totally variable pay, there will be the fixed pay plus variable pay. What is a fixed pay? That is, this is a minimum salary which you will get to do your job, right. But if you are putting more efforts, you see traditionally there was always a complaint, that is मैं बहुत ज़्यादा काम करता हूँ, ये काम नहीं करता है, पर दोनों को सैलरी जो है वो सेम है. So, this complaint was the really took a serious matter of research, and then it has been observed that is the yes, we have to filter the great people from the good people, right. So, good people means they are doing their jobs, whatever job is given to them they are doing their jobs. But who are the great people? Great people are those people, those who are doing something extra, that is surplus, and when they are doing this type of the activities, then definitely in that case it is they should get the better packages. If somebody is contributing more, somebody is adding the value, then there should be something more, that is a surplus, and that is called the attractive packages or the variable pay are there. So, if you take the 10 points, right, but if you perform better than that, you will go for the 15 points. So, that is the bonus points will be there, or there will be the certain amount will be, additional amount will be there for a particular milestone, and like this the attractive packages are there. So, who can do the best, he will earn the best. Third point which I was mentioning about the personal training. Now, in the current business environment, the skills are keep on changing. People have to learn new and new skills. Like example, in the COVID we have seen that is the online courses and online teaching has become important, and then the whether you are able to change yourself from classroom teaching to the online teaching, right, and therefore, for that purpose many people they require the training. The training is to be provided, training to run that software, training to learn. A simple example is like that if you are conducting the your online course and then you want to share, and then that is how to share, and then how to make the writing skills on the board during the online teaching. So, therefore, that will be the personal training will be there, and according to the personal training the persons will be, they will be getting this opportunities to develop themselves, and when they are so somebody knows that is if I will work in this organization for the 16 months, then I will be able to get that particular learning, and as a learning I will be developing myself. So, he will continue to the organization for the long period of time. In the long period of time, if he is able to continue, long period means 18 months, long means it is never too long now for this generation. So, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years as I mentioned, and then he learns the different skills. So, therefore, in that case that is a personal training he develops and that will be keep him the work to continue in that organization, and there will be the employee retention. Then recreation facilities are there. So, therefore, for such type of the projects which are very in the very interior is there. Some people are working into those projects in interior, and therefore, that is becoming the monotonous, right. And if it is becoming monotonous, then there may be the chances of these that they may go under the depression, or they may get frustrated, or they will see that is here is nothing. And if you are working into a small village, then you do not have any outlet for your socialization process or interaction and like this. So, how long that a human being will continue in such situation? So, what is required? The recreation facilities are required. In recreation facilities, I will also like to take the support of the welfare facilities. Welfare facilities, for example, the school for the children. So, many employees, those who are working in the organization or in that particular project, and they find that there is a good school is there. So, that will keep them retaining the employees for their children's education. They will continue in that particular organization. That is also the one of the reasons for the employee retention. Next is the grievances. So, first is there are very less grievances. Second is if there is any grievance, then HR cell is so prompt to redress that particular grievance, and the grievance redressal is there, and the complaints, those disputes or conflicts, right, with the other employee or with the employer, between the employer and employer, and employer and employer, employee and employee. So, those grievances are redressed very fast and justified. Important is justified. For example, many times people perceive a perception of that is they will get this much of salary, but later on when they find that is their pay slip is having the less amount. So, they go to the HR and say no, it was promised and I am getting less. So, then HR will see, and then he will explain. That is I will give one example. When I was into the Hukumchand mill as a labor officer, and one day one employee came and said that is I have received the less amount in the first salary. Normally this type of grievances come into the first salary. So, I saw, so what is the problem? So, he said the problem is that is the my double PF is deducted, right. So, it means what? Means sir, it was told me that is the 1500 suppose I was supposed to get the PF, but here the 1500 is deducted. So, then I explain him that is that 1500 is employees contribution, but under the PF Act employees contribution will be also there, and therefore 1500 of the 10% of your basic will be also deducted. So, it is a very simple example, but many times people do not know that what are the legal deductions are there, and they assume that this amount they will get in the first salary, but in the first salary when these amounts these contributions are deducted, maybe the ESI contribution with the PF contribution, then they find that his amount is less, right. So, many times this type of the grievances also comes, lateral side grievances are there, and then they have been redressed. The another important point for the employee retention is, that is from my research work with one PhD scholar, is this, that is the people leave the bosses and not the organization. If your relationship with your boss is very good, so then employees will like to continue in that organization, and then there will be no grievances. But suppose there is a conflict between the boss and subordinate, and there is a grievance, and that grievance goes to HR. Now, how that grievance has been handled? If the boss, superior and subordinate, they clear their misunderstandings, they understand the expectations from each other, and then they follow, then there will be no grievance. But when the one side, whether the employer, that is a boss or it is a subordinate, if he perceives that no, the other person, he does not deserve to be my attention, my guidance, my assistance, whatever the role is there, then grievance will convert into dispute, right, and the dispute may be may convert into the resignation. So, for the retaining the employees, that employee should continue, those grievances are to be addressed very promptly and judiciously. If you are able to attend those grievances promptly and judiciously, then definitely the people will not be unhappy, employees will not be unhappy in the organization, and if they are not unhappy, then definitely they will continue in the organization. But that is the procedure. In many organizations, grievance is even not noticed. HR department will say that is the okay, this type of grievances you handle yourself. It is not if you are not comfortable with your boss, this is your problem, this is not the HR problem. If this type of attitude is there, the employees turnover will be very high, and very few people will be continue in the organization. So, for the retention of the employees, these are the dimensions which are very important: growth opportunities, attractive packages, personal training, recreation, and grievances is there, and then the employee retention will be possible. So, in the growth opportunities, the prime objectives. What is the prime objective? That is the growth. Growth means promotion, normally promotion, but as I mentioned, that is a learning of the different aspects, then that is also to be taken into consideration, like the training, and that is there. Ensure senior level employees remain with your organization. Here is that is the point which is very important. What happens? That is the people from the front line to go to middle line to the senior line, senior level, and when they go for the senior level, they have spent a lot of experience in the organization. In the process of spending this much of years into the organization, the knowledge base is generated. That experience within the organization counts a lot. So, many times it has been told that is the continue with the current employee only, do not see for his replacement. Why? Because the known devil is better than unknown angel, right. So, therefore, it is always better the senior level employees will remain in your organizations are there. Even if they are creating certain problems, please try to understand, because they are working since long. So, they know the culture, and therefore, they find something which changes. Normally, this comes in the situation of changes. When you make certain changes, they may not appreciate, then talk to them. Crucial in BPO industry, which has the highest churn rate, because of the prolonged boom in the industry is there. Now, here we will take about the service industries as so that is the BPOs industries are there. So, when outsources business process outsources industries are there, then what happens, that is there are lot of demands, and if the demands are there, then in that case they will not be ready to compromise with the current organization, and that is why you find the switching from the one organization to the another organization, and that is also that is at very young age. BPOs employees are very young generation, and therefore they find it is very interesting for them to change and go and new places, meet new people and like this because of the age factor also. So, for the BPO industries it is becoming the very important, that is they require the prolong the because of the lot of boom in the industries, the retaining the talented employees, right, otherwise they will go to your competitor. When we talk about the motivation, we have talked last time. That is the employee engagement. In the employee engagement, that is physiological need, safety need, social need, self-esteem need and self-actualization need is there, and for these needs, and then you find the employee engagement. So, employee engagement is that is from the top to bottom. So, here you will find it is the from the top you are going the highly engaged employees, and then you are going for the very that is a disengaged employees, those who are looking for the physiological needs only. So, therefore, what is important is this, that is what is the driving force. Now, you see HR department should be also efficient and effective to understand for a particular employee what is the driving force, because that need then that motivation is the driving force which will give the result. So, the driving force we have talked about that slide, that is it can be growth opportunities, it can be packages, it can be training, it can be the redressal of the grievances, compensation, rewards and whatever. So, handsome package is a platform for the new to take new initiatives, right. So, therefore, in that case, now here I would like to mention the change management. This is the attrition package is becoming a very good tool for the change management. So, I was a labor officer, and then we were required to shift from the one shed to the another shift. We have to shift the 32 workers from the C shed to the A and B shed, but workers normally do not agree for this. So, in the C shed the cotton was running. That time cotton was running the wages were extra wages were 25 paise per meter, right. And when in the shed A and B, the cotton with synthetic was running, and as a result of which there it was a 45 paise per meter. Incentive was the extra wages where incentive was the 45 paise per meter. So, naturally in the whole shift there will be 10 to 15 meters the cloth that time, I am talking about 36 years before, and then there will be the daily earning will increase. So, in spite of that we push the employees, because the C shed was running into losses. So, in spite of pushing the C shed employees to A and B forcefully, the organization started to run that particular cloth into the cotton with synthetics. When cotton with synthetics was running, and as a result of which the workers from the C shed, they asked to go for the shed A and B, and when they were talking about the going to the shed A and B, they found that is the already the shed C was getting the less workers. So, out of the 32, 10 to 15 workers they have joined into the shed A and B. So, it means that is the change was pulled, the attraction was to work into A and B shed. So, in spite of we forcefully put them, they voluntarily were going into the shed A and B, because their earning was more, and therefore, it is called the pull change management. and when the full change management is there. So, that is the handsome package as a platform for to take new initiatives. So, certain jobs will be introduced in the organization, new jobs will be introduced. Normally nobody will ready, because they have to leave their comfortable zone and has to shift into the uncomfortable zone. To shift to the uncomfortable zone, there should be motivation. There cannot be force always, that you will force them, and that you have to take the motivation, and as a result of which you will find that is that they take the new initiatives. Performance based incentives relating to the targets achieved accuracy and productivity is there, and you will find it is the here the it has become the performance based incentives to performance based incentives to achieve, and the accuracy and productivity is there. So, there are certain motivations or attractive packages are there, as I have given the example, that is the now here it was running up a different cloth, but if we say about that is if we will produce the more than 10 meters cloth, that is called PIS, production incentive scheme. So, traditionally, so that is a performance based incentive basically, and then you will go for that particular package. Due care of the training and development needs of its employees, right, and the faster growth rate in their career path is there, which already I mentioned during the slide, the dimensions of the person. Now, here you will find that is what type of the recreation facilities are making fun for the everyone is there. So, their job is becoming the more interesting. Initiatives like sports, activities, family get together, unwinding zones at the workplaces, beside cultural programs and birthday celebrations break the monotony of these everyday work pressures. Meditation, yoga, yoga hall is there, sports club is there. So, all these and the breakfast is there, the snacks are available, and like this you can break. There is a recreation room, in recreation room there is a TV and all, so that you can go for that particular facilities also. So, this type of recreation facilities also making them the retaining in the organization. That in a supportive work atmosphere, ensure a prompt atmosphere, as I mentioned, it is the boss and subordinate relationship is there. No stone will be left unturned to identify and solve their grievances, and as quickly as I mentioned, prompt, that should be prompt, and judicious, so that quickly as much as possible. Now, here we would like to take this slide, in which they are talking about the impact of motivators and hygiene factors on attitude is there. So, what are there those which are the hygiene factors are there. Hygiene factors are those factors which there is a Herzberg's theory, I have talked in that particular motivation, that is the satisfaction, dissatisfaction and no dissatisfaction. So, here you will find that is the like the company policies, supervision, relationship with supervisors, work conditions, salary, relationship with peers, personal life, relationship with subordinates, status, security, all these are the hygiene factors are there, right. They are having the most important part for their no dissatisfaction is there. And what is the motivational factors are there? The achievement, that what they have achieved, recognition, that is they recognize the their recognition of their work has been recognized, and then as I mentioned, job satisfaction of work itself is important. Then the responsibility, the authority and responsibility given to them, advancement in the growth opportunities. So, these are the factors are there in their concern. So, question arises, why should we invest so much of money into the employee retention strategies, policies, procedures, and then this type of the incentives and grievance handling and growth opportunities and training and all. So much investment is there in, if you go for the employee retention, but why? The answer is cost of attrition, because if the employees leave and you have to hire the new employees, then in that case there will be the lot of cost will be, again you have to advertise, again there will be the screening, there will be the interviews, and then there will be the selection. So, cost of attrition if high, then that will cause the more cost to the employees. loss of company knowledge, right. And as I mentioned that during the senior level employees, during the process from junior to senior level employees, they have created a knowledge base about the organization, because they have worked into a particular culture, and then when they have worked into the particular culture, then they have developed a knowledge base about the people, about the system, about the infrastructure, about the culture especially. But if the attrition is low and the turnover is high, then there will be people will be leaving, and the knowledge will go with the employees. Interruption of customer service, like we are also having so many products at home, and then if you want we know the people to whom we have to call. So, we call, we develop a rapport with that particular person, and then we are comfortable. Suddenly we find that is the one day one person is coming, another day another person is coming, third day third person is coming. So, then again we have to start from the A to Z. So, therefore, in that case that is the interruption of the customer service, that will become very very important. Attrition leads to more attritions. So, once you retain the employees, so they will talk to the another employees, and they will retain those employees, they will retain the other employees also. Goodwill of the company, if the employees are continuing for a long time, then the people, it seems that is they are happy, because the people are happy, they are continuing in for the long time in one organization, and that is creating the goodwill of the company is there. Regaining the efficiency, so that whatever the efficiency is there, they try to regain, and therefore, they are doing the best in the as compared to their competitors. So, what should be the strategies to retain the employees? Hire the right people at the first place. As I mentioned, that is the job satisfaction is important. So, hire the right people at the right first place. So, then they will not leave the job, or they will not tempted at least to leave the job, because the job profile what they were looking for, it is matching. Empower the employees, give the employees the authority to get things done. So, every time they need not to go to the boss and ask, right, rather than they should feel empowered. Make employees realize that they are the most valuable asset of the organization. Ownership, give them that culture and environment, that is they develop the ownership. Have faith in them, trust them and respect them. So, we have to keep the faith in them, and naturally we have to keep the trust also, and then the respect also. So, when you are with anybody in interpersonal relationship, when you have the faith, trust and respect, then definitely the relationship will grow further. If you want to continue that relationship, if you want to retain that relationship, then have the faith, trust and respect. I would like to add one more, patience. Provide them information and knowledge, providing them feedback on their performance, recognize and appreciate their achievements whenever they are achieving something, and always keep their moral high. So, therefore, in that case we have to give their moral, keep their moral high. Create an environment where the employees want to work and have fun. Always there should be an environment where they will like to work and fun. No stressful environment is to be there. So, finally, the last slide which I would like to take is, people often leave a company for more pay. This is the myth, this is myth, because I have talked, that is the work environment is important. Incentive programs produce long term profits and improve productivity and morale. So, therefore, that is by money you can motivate anybody, that is a myth. People do not want more responsibility, that is also myth. People want to work, theory X, theory Y. So, they belong to theory Y, most of the people. Loyalty is dead, no, people are loyal, that is a nature. Naturally, people are preferring their preferences, that is to be loyal. Improving employee satisfaction is expensive. So, therefore, that is the investments on the employees. The many organizations, if wrong leadership is there, so they will say that is the okay, we will train them, the person will go, so do not train. So, that is a wrong decision. Supervisors are the problem. So, that many times it is a myth, rather than the work culture, one environment, that is to be preferred more. If the work culture, one environment is there, supervisors will also take their bosses. So, that retention myth, that has to be clarified. If we follow these practices, we will be able to retain our employees. Thank you.